Hello and welcome to Girl Games WoW. This is Silvana and we're going to be playing some World of Warcraft. We're going to start at the very beginning. If you see here, we're on the Realm Select screen. I want to tell you a little bit about the channel and then we're going to go on with this episode. So this channel is going to be a walkthrough of the quest lines on WoW. We're going to start with one race and class, and when we get close to finish leveling it up at 90, although if you the viewers decide that you want to push it to 100, we can do that, but right now the aim is 90 for that first character. Then you'll get a vote for what is the next class and race that we make. When we get to level 10, you'll get a vote on what type of spec we'll use, and we'll get into that in just a little bit. And when we get to 15, you'll vote on whether or not you want to run dungeons and the quest lines, or if you just want to continue on the quest lines, and I'll do the dungeons as a separate playlist. Alright, so first some things about the realms. These are the realms' name. This is what kind of realm they are, and there's a couple different ones. So normal is just you're going to play WoW, or PvE, that's called PvE, player versus environment. You have RP, which means role play. This is a realm, again, this kind is just player versus environment. And what that means is it's more focused on questing and a little less focused on player versus player, where you're competing with the other factions for kills and things like that, which is your next option, player versus player. And then here are some role play, player versus player, where you're role playing a character to the nth degree, where you're talking instead of as yourself as that character, and your PvP. So you can tell here I do play, all these green ones are where I have at least a character, and so I don't want to pick any of those. So we are going to pick a realm here, and where'd it go? We are going to pick Vecnalash. It is a normal realm, not RP. Although, if enough votes come in for that, we'll do some RP with some tunes I already have in RP servers. It has a medium population, so this is a good realm. Now, I'm picking this realm for a couple different reasons. First, like I said, I do play on another server, and so this is tied to that server, so I can get into a guild and talk to my friends while we're playing. But I am not going to be sending myself heirlooms or bags or money, because I want this to be more from a new player's point of view. And then of course, if you're just changing factions or if you're coming back to the game, it can get you a refresher of what's new, how the game has changed since the last time that you played. So here's our character creation screen, and at the top, you have the gender, which is male or female. Here you have the factions, which is Alliance and Horde. They compete against each other in PvP and battlegrounds. I'm not pro one side or the other, although I've played Alliance longer than I've played Horde. I like both factions. I don't find any to be better than the other. So on the Alliance side, you can be a human, a dwarf, a night elf, a gnome, a drow knight, or a worgen. On the Horde side, you can be an orc, an undead, a tauren, a troll, a blood elf, or a goblin. And then the newest race that came out in Mists of Pandarian or Pandaria, is the Pandarian, a panda person. Here, I'll click on it so you can see what they look like. Now with this, they are neutral until they finish their starting zone. And then as you finish your starting zone, you choose then which faction, horde, or alliance you want to be. So for your classes, all the classes are warrior, paladin, hunter, rogue, priest, shaman, mage, warlock, monk, druid, and death knight. These classes break down into three archetypes: a tank, which is basically the shield of the group. Their job is to be at the front doing some damage, taking a lot of damage, holding threat, which means they are holding the bosses or the bad guys' attention on them. Next set is DPS, that's damage per second. Your job in that role is to throw as much damage as you can and keep your butt out of the fire. Uh, what that means is some bosses or monsters will have certain attacks that aren't maybe literally fire. There could be poison pools or something like that, and you have to be attentive to stay out of those things. And the third option is a healer, which is pretty self-explanatory. Your job is to keep the group healed, and if everybody's up at full health, then you can throw some damage as well. Now on here, we're going to go a gnome. I like gnomes. We want to make sure it's a girl, because I'm a girl. And like I said, when we get ready to go to the next one, you guys will have a vote of what that's going to be. And for the gnome, I'm going to go monk. And the reason I'm picking a monk on this one is because it has the ability to be either a tank, a DPS, or a healer. So that when it gets time to choose, you have a fair choice. Some of these can only be two, either tank and DPS or DPS and a healer. There's not a lot of classes that can be all three, so that's why I'm going monk, so that it's a fair pick for you guys watching. So here I picked to customize it so we can pick what they look like. And first is skin color. Skin color doesn't really matter to me. I happen to be Anglo, but I don't care, so I'll just pick one. The face I do care a little bit about. I hate these grumpy faces to me. It looks like a small child, so I want it to look more like a kid, so I'll give it that kind of kid look. I happen to like this hairstyle because it's absolutely ridiculous, and who would wear this in real life? So we'll just stick with that. Hair color. I don't like this hair color, so let's see. I like blue. That's kind of a light blue. That's a nice dark blue. Let's go dark blue. Earrings. Earrings, there's a couple different choices, but I like to try and find one where you can actually see them. So I go the double piercing. And if you want to see your character from another angle, you use these arrows down here to turner. You can do it all the way around. So for the name, we will name it exactly what the game channel is. Girl Games WoW. And then my name, Silvana. And that's the character. Now you see when I made it, it popped up with this thing about add-ons, and that will be next time's episode. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Tell all your WoW friends, and have a nice day.